Z, just what's your mindset coming off a bench when a team gets off to a slow start, and what worked for you tonight?
Um, just trying to, catch offensive rebounds when we shoot. I feel like that got me going. But yeah, offensive rebounds always keep us in the game. So, yeah.
Keaton, what kind of luxury is it to have Z coming off the bench and replace Tommy with another 7-footer who can shoot and block shots and do what he does?
Yeah, it's really good, present for us, especially on the defensive side. But like you saw today, like he can do it on both sides, knocking down shots when we need it, getting big-time offensive rebounds and stuff like that. And he played really good. And also he got a steal out and got a dunk in transition, and that kind of got us going.
Z, you guys have kind of found your, I think, niche defensively. What was the kind of focus coming into this game with the Gophers coming in?
I would say the main emphasis was on cutting, because they cut a lot, and they get a lot of points out of that. So I would say we was focused on that and rebounding, and by doing that we knew, we was going to win.
Z, in the back here, we've seen you and we've seen Tommy, but we saw you guys play together a little bit more tonight. What was that like for you, and how do you think it went?
I feel like it went pretty good. I always want to play with my brother. It don't matter, the whole game if we can. But I feel like it went pretty good. So, got to keep going.
Keaton, what was so tough about Minnesota's defense, especially in that first half?
I would just say their zone slowed us down. We couldn't really get to our actions fast when they got to their zone, and it kind of just slowed down our offense and kind of got us out of sorts. They were pretty physical at the point of attack with the ball, but then once we figured it out, got the ball to the middle of the zone, that's where we got our points from.
Keaton, what did you guys learn about responding to a slow start? Because you guys have gotten off to good starts here recently, and what led to that slow start, do you think?
I think probably just what led to it was just just some slow possession on offense, and then just letting forgot what player it was, but I think he hit back-to-back threes just right off the start, and that's what got us to the slow start. But I think it was just us staying composed and knowing we're gonna find our rhythm in this game, and everything will work out.
Zvonimir, line up to end the first half with you, Tommy, Keaton, Mahalo, and Jake. I don't think that group had played together in a game yet this season. What worked for that five to maybe finish the half as strong as you did?
I don't think we practiced together either. But I think he was just, we know we're having a rough start. We got to put more energy in. We got to fight, hustle. And I feel like that group on the court did that job pretty well in the end of the half.
Z, you guys spaced the floor really well with your bigs. Minnesota did that early. What adjustments did you make defensively to kind of take that away?
I feel like we started bad because we wasn't talking as much as later, and that's what got us into trouble. But later, once we started communicating more, louder, and it looked way better.
Z, what is it about being here that's helped you kind of unlock this consistency in your game and the production that you've had?
I think it was working with Coach Fletch. I gained 30 pounds while I was here, so I feel like that's, big help.
Question for both of you. I just want to get your thoughts on just Mahalo and just those minutes that he gave you guys that are in the late first half.
Mahalo was great. He came in and he gave us a lot of energy, especially on the defensive side. He got up, played good defense on the person who was bringing up the ball for them. And then also just offensively, just being able to, get in the paint, create shots for others. But then he also, he got a layup and then a pull-up late towards the end of the half.
Keaton, you talked about maybe the production that Z had coming off the bench, but how much did his maybe energy coming off the bench, help this team today?
Yeah, his energy was a lot. He always brings energy, especially even in pregame locker room. He's always ready to play. And I think that's what it was. He came in ready to play, and that's what got him going.
Z, how does that 30 pounds? How's it changed your game, and how does it help you grow?
Just being more physical. Not being pushed around like a little girl in the paint, but I would say that's the main thing, and also gave me a lot of confidence too.
Keaton, another double-digit scoring performance for you. What has really just like led to this consistency for you, like all throughout the season so far over the last couple, I guess, months?
I would just say, the trust that the coaching staff has put in me. Since being moved to the ball, I think it's just let me get my flow a lot better and just being able to, I think do what I do best and make plays and reads off of ball screens and stuff like that. So I think that's what it was.
Is he a mask, like a long-term thing, or what's the plan there?
No, I definitely can't wait to take it off. Can't wait.
Do you know when you can get rid of it?
They said 4 to 6 weeks, but I got hit a couple more times in the practice, so it's probably going to stay for a while now.
There are certain games that just pose some mental challenges that you've got to look out for as a coach, and I guess 39 years doing this now. But the Northwestern game is always very physical. It's hard. There's some emotion in that game, and then you get home at 2 a.m. and the next day is just kind of a wash. You're just trying to prepare a little bit, and you don't do much, and then the day before we did a little bit, but it's all Minnesota and then the 11 a.m. start. So I've had this one concerned, and I was really hoping that our team would just come out with some pop and some aggression on the defensive side to see if we could just make sure we got energy. And obviously, a minute in, we called timeout. We weren't in a very good spot. So, just becomes a fight. And Nico does an unbelievable job. He's a terrific basketball coach. He's won everywhere he's been. And, they've got great role identification. Crocker Johnson posed some problems, as a shooting 5-man that we lost a couple, and we did great in the half court. We just lost them in transition. But they're good. My hat's off to Mihailo. We don't win the game without him. He changed the whole outlook of the game at the end of the first half, and I thought was excellent. We don't want that young man spends all day in the gym. He shoots. He works. He's been the ultimate teammate. We don't win it today without him, and I thought he was excellent. Then I thought that obviously Zvonimir was a difference in the first half, and his play was outstanding. The 13 offensive rebounds we had, his half was pretty spectacular. So I felt good at half, and then second half it was just body blows. We just kept until we kind of hung in there and found a way to pull away in a game that was very hard fought, and you never unhappy with a win, but that one went about as like I thought it would
go. What allowed Z to be so successful early against that Minnesota defense?
Well, they were in some zone early, and he's very, very difficult to zone because he can shoot it. Secondly, you can play over the top of him of a lot of zones. So, but his activity on the glass was elite, and just his activity got a hook and hold. His energy was great, and I was really proud of him for that, and to see that was hopefully something keeps carrying over.
Brad, Z could start for most teams in this country. How has he grown as a player since he's come here with you, and what have you seen from that growth?
Well, he's literally grown 28 pounds worth, and I give all the credit to Fletch there. He's added that weight. He's invested heavily in terms of his time in him. I think Z's as healthy as he's ever been in terms of his knee and his other leg getting stronger. I think his conditioning is at a very, very high level. And then I think he's in a great spot. His brother is some of the, obviously Balkans guys he's familiar with. And I just think there's a tremendous level of comfort, and we're seeing that confidence coming with that.
Coach, Minnesota's offense had it clicking there in the first half. Could you speak to just that pairing that you did have with the brothers playing together there in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, the lineup worked good. It was, they've got the number 6. I can't read. I'm just drawing a blank on his name. Langston Reynolds is a guy that coming into the game, I think had made 2 threes all year. So we felt like he was a guy that we could slough off of a little bit and help and support. And then when Jalen got in foul trouble, it was a great matchup to help protect the rim. And then I thought Mihailo coming in and just getting after the ball was very effective. But it's nice to see that. We practice it. We've been practicing that some. It was nice to see it. It worked great. It was very effective against the zone. And then you find some pick and pop opportunities. We're both, literally both those two guys are some of our better shooters, our best shooters, and it was just clicking today. It was the right matchups.
Coach Milo, I think, is the oldest guy on your team, and I'm guessing this role of maybe not seeing the court sometimes is probably new to him, maybe something he's never seen. What does it say about him to stay locked in, stay ready, and be ready to contribute when he gets the opportunity?
Yeah, he's just been the ultimate teammate. He's been the ultimate member of our team. His approach has always been, no one spends any more time in the gym working on his game than Mihailo. And it's been a transitional period for him, and obviously some of it was not being here this summer, some of it was the injuries, where you just miss ample practice time, and now we're starting to see that every day. He's competitive, he fights, he's gained tremendous understanding defensively. My hat's off to him. Just terrific young man. All he does is show up every day and work and do what he's supposed to do.
Brad, 19-3 foul shot disparity. Playing defense without fouling has been a big strength for you guys all year. What makes you guys so effective in that capacity?
I don't know, maybe the treadmill. It's a foul is a defensive mistake, and we work every single day. Cam's done an unbelievable job, and we've tried every single day to win closeouts without using our hands, to not be handsy. The downside of that is we don't force a lot of turnovers. It's quite the opposite. My first 2 years, we started every game down -8 because we fouled so much, and we turned everybody over. And so there's a give and take there. But with this team, it's just kind of the old cliche: keep yourself between your man and the basket, and we try to do that a lot and do it without fouling. And so, and then I'll be honest, we've got three pretty good defenders, 4 pretty good defenders on the perimeter, and we got somebody who can protect the rim, and that helps.
Brad, you've kind of always talked about valuing production off the bench. What has this group given you this year, and what's maybe unique about them?
Well, it's been an elite group from that standpoint that not everybody, other than maybe Mihailo, they don't want the ball. They don't need the ball to be very, very effective. Mihailo as a point needs it. There's a lot of guys that come in and they want to dominate it. They think it's their time. With us, it's not. And, Jake, Ben, those guys just come in and shoot open shots. They guard. They don't make mistakes. Z's literally a difference maker. He's a freak in a good way because of his ability to protect the rim and what he does defensively. And then, he just pops and makes open shots and does what he's supposed to do. So I've been really pleased with those guys and their role identification.
Coach, did you expect to see as much zone coming into
Yes.
this game? And were there some in-game adjustments there, whether it was lineups or how you attack the zone?
Yeah, there was a lot in the first half. We got really stagnant. In the second half, we just ran our man stuff against it, just ball screened, and just let Keaton and find open guys and open spots. And what they do is as soon as you hit the high post, they match up and go man. And so they want you to get stagnant and We fell in line with that early. But it's really, really hard to zone with Z. Hovering around the back line in the basket, you can just throw it up. We had one late. David throws a bounce pass instead of a lob. But it's a challenge to do that. You got to really account for him. And I thought it put us a little bit on our heels in the first half, and that's probably the biggest disappointment.
Brad, Jeff, Orlando, and Cameron were named 3 of the top assistants in the country yesterday. I guess, what do they do for you, and how do they make your job easier, especially on game day?
Geez, we don't have enough time for that. Make me look good, don't they? They're the best. Every head coach is only as good as the people he has around him. And, Jeff's been with me close to 30 years as a player and as a coach and as a friend. Now Orlando's back for a second time. And both those guys are renowned in the world of recruiting and worldwide. And they're elite at what they do. They're elite evaluators. They fit us. The one thing I'll say about all 3 of those guys, they're unbelievable human beings. They're terrific people, and that's the first and foremost thing about working with me is I want really good people around him. And so, Cam's a young guy that's just getting his feet wet in this business, doing a great job, and got a great pedigree and background, and so they're all very, very worthy of that. And Owen and Jeff have just done it for a long time, and I tip my hat to them because they, wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
Brad, you mentioned Mihailo being the guy who works in the gym. Now he gets a little success on the court. How does that help him moving forward?
Boy, I hope he feels good. I hope it's an insertion of confidence. I hope it's I can do this. I'm starting to feel it. I can feel a part of it, and I hope that's the case. And he is, like I said, I have zero complaints with anything about what he's done other than become a great teammate, and he's a really good player. And it just, everybody's, the race isn't. It's run at different paces sometimes, and his is just taking a little longer because of the injuries and be nice to have that continue.
Brad, what is the luxury of having Z off the bench?
Not many people have that. I think you bring in one of the elite defenders in college basketball. That's very nice, and then you have a guy that experience. He's been there, done that. He sees the game. He knows the game. It's a luxury. It's a luxury, and I understand that. And you just get 2 of them, 3 of them front court guys that are pretty special.
One more question on Z. His offensive rebounding seemed to get him going today. Is that just an area that you guys been kind of working on?
Golly, please make that a big story. Please make that a big story, because it's been, that's why I'm so proud of him today. I mean, his offensive rebounding got him easy baskets and got us going in a time, and he's just got a gift, and it's maybe it's taken him till today to figure out how that is. He's been a good defensive rebounder, but I think one of the things that's been harder for him is he shoots a lot of threes. So when you're 7-2 crashing takes a little, but in the zone he was under the rim, and so it was a really good thing. So put that out there, please, everybody. And Z's offensive rebounding was special. Coach said it.
Andre limped off the floor, looked fairly significant. Do you know where he's at with that?
No,
okay.
No, I do want to mention it was pretty cool in the locker room. He went over 1,000 points in his career today, and then was as Tommy likes post-game celebrations a lot, hence the guitar, and we've had Kylan and There was a whole lot of really cold water doused on Andre today, inspired by one Tomislav Ivisic. But yeah, so my hat's off to him. That's a great accomplishment.
Coach, a little off topic, but Ethan Brown here taking in the game today. What are you seeing from him during his senior season this year?
Well, he's having a phenomenal one. I think since the break, he's averaging about 40. Yeah, he's a very talented. It's always good to get your new guys coming in and seeing this and understanding it. He had a little break. They had a game last night, and so he's got a big holiday or big little tournament coming up. So yeah, he's been terrific, and he had an inbounds play the other night in a game that I was watching and threw it off the back and stepped in and just went up and two-hand dunked it like it was nothing. I mean, that's pretty athletic to do that, but he's playing great, and his time will come soon enough. But I hope he has a stellar rest of his season.
Do you feel like there's a reason in the last 7 days there have been more hook and hold appeals or reviews? I mean, just because I don't think we saw one before Iowa, and there's been a lot.
Scott, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. Maybe Quay and Biddle and all those guys back there do just paying attention to. I don't know. It's. I don't like the call. I don't. I've never been a fan of the call, and it's. I understand when you hook it and you yank. Yes, somebody can get hurt, and the intent of the rule, I think, was to be under the basket in a rebound and in a scrum. But some of the stuff that is when you got multiple bodies, I think it's just hard. Arms just happen, and ouch, that hurt like heck. Golly, funny bone. But I don't like the call, but I don't know why there is. I don't have an answer for it. We're obviously leery of it. We've had, Keaton's had a couple called against him, but I've talked to Terry about it, and in the league, maybe it's just us. I don't know.
What do you tell your team in a timeout 70 seconds into the game?
Can't repeat that. That's not a very repeatable conversation. Play harder, play better. Let's wake the heck up and shake the cobwebs off, or this thing gets really ugly. And I also said, okay, they punched us. Now it's time to punch back. Let's settle in and do our job. But that was the most disappointing thing about today, was just that start after hoping to see some aggression at the start. Thank you.